Live from Mahwah, New Jersey, I am Frank Rossi, and Reginald Bazile is next to me here for the New Jersey Athletic Conference Men's Basketball Championship game between Ramapo, the Roadrunners, and Rutgers Newark, the Scarlet Raiders. Ramapo comes in as the number 1 overall seed in the NJAC tournament at 22-4 overall. Rutgers Newark comes in at 20-6 overall. However, they are not 1-2 in terms of the region. They are 1-3 in terms of the region. We'll talk a lot more about that as the evening wears on and what it all means. But first, Reggie, thanks for joining me again. I did a little bit of a NJCAA basketball a couple weeks ago, and you did so well. We wanted to have you back to call a different Division III, the Division III in NCAA basketball, and namely this D3Hoops.com broadcast of the NJAC Championship. Welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me, Frank. And if you would have taken me to Alaska, I would have followed you there, too. So,
it's a little cold up there, and I don't like cold, needless to say. But, this is an important game for both teams. We've been talking about it, the buzz around here. The women's side of the brackets may have more impact in this one in terms of Montclair being undefeated this season so far. But at the same time, they want to host games. They can't. New Jersey currently has a ban, and Terry Small, the NJAC commissioner, just walked by to shake our hand. So maybe we'll have him on at halftime to discuss where we are on that whole situation. But basically, a school like Ramapo or a school like Rutgers Newark will not be able to host any more games after tonight, at least on the men's side. Women's side, I think, is also done tomorrow night, so this weekend is it. Whether or not they can technically host elsewhere outside the state's another question, but they can't host in this beautiful facility we're in here, the Bradley Center, and yet they want to be able to still have high seeds. So the winning this game, whether or not these teams are automatically going to be in the tournament based on where they currently are in the regional rankings, they definitely want to win this game.
Definitely. I mean, if you look at it from Ramapo's standpoint, yes, they do definitely want to win this game. If they were to lose, their chances of getting in are still pretty high. On the other side of things, for Rutgers Newark, they definitely want to win this game. I mean, for them, there's too many obstacles, there's too many variables in the way for them not to come out and try and win this game. Both teams definitely want to win this, and their goal is to definitely win this. I mean, it goes a long way.
Yeah, and one thing to think about, Rutgers Newark with a loss would not be assured of getting in. Remember, there is a team ahead of them in number 2, and let's say Ramapo wins, they're in. But in terms of how they go about picking the Pool C at-large bids in the NCAA Division III men's basketball bracket, it's basically each region gets a team on top of the list, and until the team above you is gone, or teams, you are not considered. So they need to win this game to have the assuredness they're there, but you don't want to be in the bubble this time of year. You want to take care of things yourself. It happens in Division I, it happens in Division II, it happens in Division III the same way. Be in control of your own fate with these conference championships, and here's one such situation. And just a little while ago, not too long ago, this Rutgers Newark team did split the season series with Ramapo after kind of losing badly here earlier, basically late last year, I think it was. Rutgers Newark team can beat Ramapo. They did it at Rutgers Newark.
Definitely. I mean, but then again, there's that caveat that you just said there. They did it at Rutgers Newark, and coming here, playing here at the Bradley Center, it's a different atmosphere, as you said again earlier. Ramapo blew them out here when they played them last time, and they're looking for the same exact thing to happen this go around.
You can see the clock and scoreboard at the top of your screen. We'll have a little bit of a head popping through there every so often as we're kind of on floor level, which we enjoy ourselves here. Being on floor level gets us as part of the action. Referees come by, give us fist pumps and whatnot, and we feel like we're actually playing the game for a half a second here, and they haven't seen our jump shots apparently. But nonetheless, we are going to tip off here in about 5 minutes. The introduction is coming up, so we will kind of be quiet during those. But nonetheless, you are watching D3Hoops.com's presentation of the NJAC Men's Basketball Championship on Ustream.tv, and we always appreciate Ustream hosting our events from D3Hoops.com. we'll have hopefully some more stuff for you. Not necessarily hosted by D3 Hoops later on, but some other schools. A lot of streaming going on during the tournament starting next weekend. So you'll be wanting to go to the NCAA.com website to see who's hosting what and streaming what around that time. And maybe we'll be involved, maybe we won't. We'll see what happens here. But like we said, if Ramapo wins here, there's a good chance they could be put into a hosting position for at least 1 week. But it won't be in the state of New Jersey. It'll probably be across the border in New York, where they have at least put in a bid to host things over in New York, which the NCAA will allow. And we'll see how that turns out. That's still an open question. It will be an open question probably for a few days.
It definitely will. And right now, I mean, again, it hurts this Ramapo team. Not even only Ramapo, but teams in the New Jersey area that really have great facilities like this and want to have their fans come out, but having to travel a long way for a D3 school, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, Montclair is kind of in a worse position than Ramapo, since it's kind of just across the river or just across the border for Ramapo, a couple miles away. Montclair not so fortunate in that position. They'd have to travel a bus out a little bit of ways. Let's go over the planned starters here, and they are announcing them as we speak right now here in the Bradley Center. For Ramapo, the number 1 seed, you have number 2, Will Sanborn. He's a senior guard, 6'1", 200 from Red Bank, New Jersey. Number 3, one of the tri-captains for the team, Anthony LaRusso. He's part of the tournament team from 2 years ago. Lost to Johnson & Wales in the first round here at the Bradley Center in 2011. He's a senior guard, 6'11", 195 from Mount Wide, New Jersey. We're going to pause for the national anthem and come back here on D3Hoops.com. And we are back here on D3Hoops.com on Ustream.tv, your source for tonight's NJAC Men's Basketball Championship game. We understand, by the way, that there is a team crowd bus that came from Rutgers Newark, or is on its way. So the crowd here is going to be pretty large tonight, if there's anything like Tuesday night when Ramapo won against William Patterson, which, granted, William Patterson is right down the street when you think about the geography of New Jersey, so I'm sure there were a lot of people from both teams appearing here. So let us go now to the rest of the starting lineup. We left off on Anthony LaRusso, the senior guard. Number 15, Elgin Brown. He's a senior forward, 6'4", 205 from Jersey City, New Jersey. 24, another of the tri-captains, Garrett Thiel, a senior guard, 6'2", from Middletown, New Jersey, and another senior-laden team that remembers how to get to the tournament in the first place. Number 33, Stefan Treadwell, senior forward, 6'5", from Newark, New Jersey. For Rutgers Newark, trying to find uncharted territory here under Coach Joe Loughran. You have number 5, John Snow, a sophomore guard, 6'0", from Newark, New Jersey. Number 10, Doze Ikwebu, a sophomore guard, 6'3", from Union, New Jersey. 22, Christian Garcia, a sophomore guard slash forward, 6'2", from Freehold, New Jersey. So 3 sophomores right there for you. Number 31, Fatine Belfield, senior forward slash center, 6'8", from Irvington, New Jersey. We'll talk about size in a moment here. And 41, Hussein Abdelmaksud, a senior center slash forward, 6'6", from West New York, New Jersey. Reggie, you look at the heights here, 6'0", 6'3", 6'2", 6'8", 6'6", for the Scarlet Raiders, and then 6'1", 6'1", 6'4", 6'2", 6'5", for Ramapo. And you see a little bit of size advantage for Rutgers Newark in this game.
Well, again, I mean, coming into this game, this is one of the things that they do. They play very good defense. Another team that's going to put up a lot of points is Rutgers Newark. They're a team that plays defense, who wants to control the pace of the game, kind of slow it down a bit. They don't want to run up and down the court. And that's not a tempo that Ramapo plays up and down, but they'd rather get out and score on the fast break points. And Rutgers Newark is going to look to take advantage of their size to kind of dominate on the glass, to kind of slow the game down.
Absolutely. The one thing we did point out, though, we were talking about on our way up here, the 5 starters, double-digit averagers for Ramapo each game, or on average in the games this season. However, after that, the bench, there's really not much scoring from the bench players. They live and die by their starters here, and they are all seniors, but not much from the underclassmen on this year's team for Ramapo.
And we were talking about this earlier, as you said. Ramapo, again, uses all their 5 starters, and those are the main scorers for their team. And if one of those players were to get, let's say, foul trouble or to get tired as the season progresses, difficulties can occur, as Ramapo, before their last win against William and Patterson, lost 2 out of 3.
So we are getting ready here for the tip-off. And again, you'll want to stay with us here, especially if you're watching in case you're a bubble team member. You may be watching and saying, we didn't control our own fate the way we should have, and now we have to wait for the NCAA's decision. Terry Small, NJAC commissioner, is one of the members of the NJAC, though he does have to abstain when it comes to NJAC teams. That's the way it works. Conflicts of interest are stamped out in these processes, so don't think that the cards are stacked against you because of that. Nonetheless, you may be watching thinking, what needs to happen? And again, Ramapo wins. It's going to be close between Rutgers Newark and the rest of the Pool C bubble. If Rutgers Newark wins, Ramapo most likely is in on the bubble, and one less bubble team gets in that thought maybe they had a chance going into tonight. That's what's at stake here for the teams on the floor, and maybe you, if you're watching from a school that doesn't know their own fate coming up here. Ready for a tip-off here. It's going to be Treadwell versus Belfield. The ball is going to be out of bounds and be Ramapo ball. Starting already with some aggressiveness here, Reggie, and now Ramapo will try to ride that home crowd.
Definitely. I mean, when I walked in here, I heard a fan bus. I heard this is a great place to play, and this place is getting packed pretty quickly, and I see the students are out.
LaRusso dribbling near the timeline right now. And it is out to Treadwell. Back around now. LaRusso driving the left side of the baseline, but he stepped on that baseline, and it will go to Rutgers Newark.
It looks like there's a pretty decent Rutgers Newark crowd here making some noise.
Well, I would call it, looking around here, about 3/4 filled or so, 5/8 and 3/4, and we still got people streaming in here, so it's going to be a packed house by the time we get to the 10-minute mark. If you're not here already and you're watching on campus, come on over. It's going to be a fun time here tonight, no matter who wins. In the meantime, Ikwebu has the ball, and it's knocked away off the thigh of number 5, John Snow. So it's Ramapo ball, 29 seconds into the game, as you can see tonight from the top of your screen with the scoreboard superimposed on your screen.
And Sambo right there playing pretty aggressive defense there, trying to stop the ball from getting into Ikwebu there, but did a good job there.
Treadwell finds underneath Elgin Brown, who he over-pursued, though, and rebound foul against, I believe, Treadwell, and Abdul Maksud was fouled in the process of getting the rebound. He is no short player at 6'6", and he looks all 6'6" of it.
The Academy Awards is this weekend, and I think he sold that to the officials there because they did not call that as it happened.
What category does that fall under?
Best supporting actor.
There you go. 50 seconds now into this game. Still no score. Ball knocked away. Stays Rutgers Newark ball. If from time to time I do just call it Newark as it is on the scoreboard, please forgive me. But it's tough to get all that out of your mouth and still call the plays. But we will call them Newark from time to time. But they are fully known as Rutgers Newark campus, just like Rutgers Camden campus also has a team in the NJAC. Garcia hands it back out to Snow. Snow sends it around to Ikwebu. 15 on the shot clock. Ikwebu wants to drive over LaRusso. He'll take the shot off the back of the rim. Rebound taken down by Garcia. Driving back in was Ikwebu, but he'll hand it off to Abdul Maksud. And the ball knocked out of bounds. Goes back to Ramapo. We are still scoreless. 1 minute and 14 seconds into this game.
Now you wonder right now with both teams right now not really getting their offense going, if there's a bit of the nerves right now. This is the championship game. There's a lot at stake right now. They haven't really seemed like they're firing on all cylinders right now.
LaRusso sent it over to Theo. Theo wants to drive. Triple team forms inside. Off the back of the rim on the shot. Rebounded by number 5, John Snow. Snow driving. And trying to cross past the three-point line toward the key. Takes a shot. It's in. We have a score. Rutgers Newark up 2-0.
And right there, good job by Snow. Going to the bucket, pulling up for the jump shot. If he's not going to be stopped, why not take the open jumper?
Russo handed over to Sanborn. Sanborn, leading scorer for many games this season, is called for the charge. Back to Rutgers Newark, and that will be, I believe, the third team foul. No, second team foul. They have it on the board already. And the first foul called against Sanborn.
And right there, Sanborn trying to start something here, noticing that his team has started out flat, trying to start something, but unfortunately, he ran into another defender there for the foul.
Well, Sanborn averages 14.9 points per game, so obviously he is a workhorse just like the rest of the 5 starters for this team. Now, on the other end, it's Christian Garcia. Garcia back out to Ikwebu, Ikwebu wants to drive. He's got a man behind him, and he puts it up and in. Elgin Brown couldn't do much there on defense. He was trailing. LaRusso sends it down to Theo. Theo wants to take a long shot. It's a 2, but it misses from the back of the rim. And Abdelmaksud is the rebounder. Going the other way, it's stolen away now by Theo. But we have a scrum for the ball and a foul call. Let's see which way they call this, though. It's against number 22, Christian Garcia of Rutgers Newark, teams first.
And right there, again, coming down on the other end there for Ramapo, they just don't seem to be going well on offense right now, either forcing shots that they don't have or passing it when they have an open shot right now. And I'm still wondering if it's nerves that are getting to them.
We'll see what happens here as we continue this first half, and maybe a timeout gets utilized to calm things down at some point, too. It's 4-0 Newark, and here's Sanborn driving, but forgetting the ball in the paint. Garcia sends it over to Snow. Check that, Ikwebu. Now it's going to be a long shot by Garcia. 4-2. It's a long 2. Timeout. Ramapo down 6-0. It's a 30-second timeout, so this is essentially the use it or lose it timeout. And we'll give you a little sense of the crowd here that you can see for Ramapo and Rutgers Newark here tonight at the Bradley Center.
And right now, again, starting out this game right now, Rutgers Newark has it right where they want it. They're playing that solid defense they have. They've been rebounding, doing a very good job there of getting the rebounds. And so far for Ramapo, they haven't been able to get their shots to fall. They seem either confused, whether they want to take the shots, drive the lane, or pass the ball. And good job there by the coach of Ramapo, taking that timeout, trying to settle his team down, noticing he doesn't want this game to get out of hand early.
Back to our overhead shot here with 17-11 left first half, 6-0 in favor of Rutgers Newark. And we are back to action. LaRusso with the ball crossing the timeline. He'll be guarded closely by Ikwebu. He'll send it off now to Thiel. Inside, that's Brown trying to put it up and in. Timeout worked pretty well, and Chuck McBreen, he's been around for a little while. He knows how to utilize his timeouts.
And Chuck McBreen has really started something really amazing here at Ramapo. In all his years here, they've only missed the playoffs 3 times.
Ikwebu over to Snow on the right side. He'll come back to the top of the arc. Now it's over to Garcia. Way down inside. Out of control scenario, but they do reclaim the ball. Snow puts it up off the back of the rim. Rebound missed as well. Ball being batted around, out of bounds. And the referees are going to have a conference and say it will stay Rutgers Newark ball. Patine Belfield was the player that missed that shot. And we'll go back here and show you a little bit of a replay here. And you can see that ball getting batted around. After the shot right there. We'll go back to live action in a moment. It looks like it was the right call, in fact. Back live now. And that's a missed shot by Rutgers Newark. Coming down the other end. LaRusso stops and is going to be called. I think there's a foul being called on Ikwebu, maybe. Either that or they're going to say it's out of bounds off his leg, and that was LaRusso trying to draw that out of bounds scenario once he was up in the air and it had nothing to do with the ball at that point.
Usually, I'm shocked LaRusso didn't take that jump shot there. He had an open look, and that's that maybe nervousness getting to them here.
I think you're right there. Theo from the left side starting to drive into the paint, but he picked up his dribble, send it over to Brown. 17 on the shot clock, 16:05 game clock. Brown puts it in, count it, and the foul. Kind of just a tender shot there, but he got it to fall.
Right now it looks like Ramapo is trying to run their offense through Elgin Braun right now, one of their better scorers on the team and also one of their top rebounders.
Watch that one more time there. He had a nice little scoop shot he put in, and that was good. So we'll go back to live action. And here's the free throw. It is going to roll in and make it a 6-5 ball game. 5 unanswered now by Ramapo after going down 6-0 in this game. Coming down the other end, it's Snow. Snow being guarded closely by Sanborn, trying to drive. He had thrown double team, but the man underneath was not open for long. Shot was missed by Abdul Maksud. On the other end, Sanborn puts it up and in. Ramapo has the lead, 7-6 in this NJAC Men's Basketball Championship. And a whistle, ball had gone back into the gallery area, so they stopped play. It is not a timeout, just an official's stoppage here, and they will resume here with a 7-6 score in favor of Ramapo.
And right there, Ramapo does what they like to do. They like to get out and probably score. Not as much as most teams, but they do like to get out and score quickly.
A little bit of a press being put on here. Ikwebu does get across the timeline with 5 seconds to spare, though. 15 and a half minutes left here in the first half, and the ball almost knocked away. Garcia recontrols. Boy, some aggressive defense by Ramapo suddenly, and Snow reclaims the ball. Driving down the baseline, it's a block by Treadwell. Going down the other end, Sanborn. It's a one-on-none if he pursues, but it's a great job by Ikwebu to get back in time and block it out of bounds. Still Ramapo ball, but great recovery.
Right there, Sanborn. That's the fault on Sanborn right there. He had an open layup, and he took his sweet time getting to the bucket there. But again, credit Ikwebu there. He really got to the bucket really quickly there.
Now here's something you won't see much of tonight from Ramapo. Bench players coming in for Rutgers Newark right now. And namely Mark Mormon and Aldan Muhammad, I believe, are the 2 players I just saw come across our table area. So back to Axel LaRusso to inbound the ball, try and get it off, and he does to Sanborn by the timeline area. Back out to LaRusso, who realized he needed to get out and play point here. 25 on the shot clock. Sanborn trying to drive down the right baseline. He'll take the shot and miss it. Rebound by Garcia for Rutgers Newark. Down the other end, it's Ikwebu. He'll face off against LaRusso here. Under 15 left first half. Ball knocked away well by Garrett Thiel. No TV timeouts or media timeouts here because we are not an official commercial-based program, and nobody else has requested it. In the NCAA tournament, there most likely will be TV timeouts or media timeouts utilized, just for those who are wondering. And still some trouble controlling the ball by Rutgers Newark. And I'm not sure what that stoppage was.
I think the official wanted to reset the time there, the shot clock.
Maybe, but yeah, I think you're right. And he's saying we're ready for play here on the other end, so we will just continue. Inbound coming up for Rutgers Newark. Garcia sent it into Ikwebu. So now it is Ikwebu driving toward the right side with LaRusso covering him tightly. Back out to Batista. Check that. That's Mormon, excuse me. And Muhammad has the ball kicked by Ramapo. 14 and a half minutes left here in this first half. 18 on the shot clock, and Rutgers Newark will still have the ball.
Ramapo doing a very good job now of switching their defenses right now, trying to stay with extending their defense out a little bit more, frustrating Rutgers Newark.
It's been a while since we've seen a score by Rutgers Newark, about 3 minutes or so right now. They were up 6-0, now it's 7-6 for those just joining us. And they're going to call player control foul against Rutgers Newark, saying a screen was set, I believe, an illegal screen. And that is Mark Mormon with his first, third for the team for Rutgers Newark. Officials are trying to take some tight control of this game pretty early on, but, you know, they don't want to lose control of a very emotional game, and that's what this is, I would call it, just from what we knew coming in with LaRusso missing the 3 from the front of the rim. Going down the other end, nice grab by Ikwebu, but he lost it, puts it back up and in, and breaks the scoreless streak. But the emotion of this game, you can feel it a little bit.
Right, and right there for Rutgers Newark, that was the first fast break opportunity they've had all game. Usually a rare opportunity for them, but they'll take advantage of it.
Now it's Brown. Picked up, I believe, his dribble there, so LaRusso has to help him out. Back in the corner now to Thiel. Outside, Treadwell has it off the back of the rim, rebounded by Garcia for Rutgers Newark. Coming down the other end, it's going to be Muhammad taking the 3, missing it off the back of the rim, and rebounded by Brown. Fast-paced action here, but he couldn't find Treadwell on the other end, so it's Rutgers Newark ball. 13:32 left first half, excuse me. My football mentality still playing in here. 8-7, Rutgers Newark.
That was a bad idea right there by Garrett Thiel right there. As getting down the court for number 33 there, Stephen Treadwell, he was guarded by 2 guys. Even if he would have catched that in stride, it would have been tough for him to kind of put that up and make a shot.
You can see, again, the crowd has filtered in very well here. Well over three-quarters packed now in the Bradley Center. Back to action, 13 and a half minutes left here, first half, 1-point game. I don't think we're going to see many major runs by either team that'll take this thing into double digits either way, but we'll see what happens here. They're playing a fast-paced game, to say the least, as we have Mormon at the top of the arc. The ball goes off foot, and it's going to be claimed by Ramapo. And going down the other way, they're not going to call the intentional against Muhammad, but it was pretty close. He was kind of riding Elgin Brown's hands or arms in a way that was not going to allow him to go up with it at all. But luckily, Brown didn't jump and try to take him with him, so he will get a two-shot foul here in the process. Fourth team foul.
No, I'm not sure if Brown decided to slow up there on himself, knowing he probably would have gotten fouled, but that's the second time in a row that Ramapo had points on the board there that they didn't put up.
73% free throw shooter is Brown. And that first one is good. 8-8, we have a tie. 6 points for Brown out of the 8 for Ramapo tonight. Second free throw coming up. And it is no good off the back of the rim. Rebound by Rutgers Newark. Coming down the other end. It's going to be, well, Ikwebu now has it after his teammate had fallen down, but passed it in time. Back out down to Muhammad. Sends it to the left and Garcia. Now inside. That is a miss by Azaro. Putback is good, though, by Mormon. And that'll make it 10-8 in favor of Newark. On the other end, though, with a three. Miss out the front of the rim by Sanborn. And rebounded by Mormon. He's all over the place here.
And it looks like the size for Rutgers Newark coming to play right now.
Down the other end, that's going to be Muhammad trying to drive. Pass at the last second. And count it in the foul for David Azaro. The freshman forward just inserted into this game. And he'll make it a 12-8 game with a chance to make it a 5-point lead with the free throw.
Now, if you look at it, for Ramapo, they went on an 8-2 run to kind of tie the lead back up right now. It looks like Rutgers Newark is trying to get things going after those two substitutions they made.
Azaro from the free throw stripe is 70%, and he makes it. It's 13-8, 12:23 remaining here in the first half. Out of control player. They're going to say he carried the ball. Will Sanborn in that case. I think probably a right call there. Take a quick look at it, see if we can catch it. And one more time. There we caught a little early. Tough to tell. It looked like it may have switched hands up a little bit or gotten knocked away, but he may have done it himself. Tough to tell, and that's the referee called what he saw. Foul situation 4-3 against Rutgers Newark, the 4 and 3 against Ramapo. Nobody in the bonus quite yet here with 12:19 to go, first half.
Right there, Will Sanborn for Ramapo had 3 possessions in a row there where he either turned it over or put up a bad shot.
Now on the other end, Mormon passed back out to Garcia. Over to Azaro. Dribbling down with it is Sponge. Sponge puts it up off the side of the rim. Tries to get his own rebound. Can't get it. And it's taken over by Thiel. Thiel to O'Connell, who's inserted into this game just recently for Ramapo. And O'Connell trying to dribble, and finally gives it up to Thiel. Thiel around LaRusso. 19 on the shot clock. LaRusso wants to drive, but he's got 3 men in front of him here. Close man-to-man being played here. Rutgers Newark, it looks like, and they're sticking well. Screen can't set up in time, but in the meantime, Treadwell is trying to dribble in from the left side of the baseline, missing with 6 on the shot clock. Put back is missed as well, and it's Rutgers Newark ball trying to build on their run.
That was a good possession there by Ramapo that just could not get the bucket to fall.
On the other end, not a control shot, but he made it. Aldon Muhammad makes it a 7-0 run here, and another timeout by Ramapo. Now they're actually eating into their real timeouts. The user to loser was used earlier by Chuck McBreen. This one counts against him for the rest of the game. Or no. Well, let's see here. Yeah, it was an indication for a timeout, and it will remain so.
And right now, as Ramapo calls that timeout, they're trying to kind of calm things down after tying the game back up. Now, Rutgers Newark has gone on a 7-0 run, pretty much to take a quick lead here, 15-8. And Ramapo understands how big this game is and how far this game can go for them. So they're trying to kind of, Coach Chuck McBreen here is trying to calm things down, get his team situated, and trying to find out what's happening.
Replay's a little herky-jerky here. We'll apologize for that, but you'll see that shot coming up, kind of that out of control, just heave it up there, shot, and it fell, and that led to the timeout. So we'll go back to live action with, hey, hello crowd, how you doing there? So far, 11:15 left here in this first half, and a 15-8 score. The team that's had the runs that have really mattered most so far has been Rutgers Newark to set the pace of the game. Chuck McGreen took the timeout last time. They scored 7 unanswered points to take the lead back, did Ramapo. Now let's see if this timeout does the same thing for his team, as Martin's also in the game on 2 whistles ago. Hands it over to O'Connell. O'Connell wants to drive, but he has to push it back out. And Martins is going to drive to the right side of the baseline. He over-pursued, stepped on the baseline, and it's out of bounds to Rutgers Newark. Got to learn to put up that shot, Reggie.
Again, John Martins should be putting up that shot. He shoots 40% from the three-point line, one of the best on the team, and I'm shocked he didn't take that shot.
Well, he didn't, and they pay for it, or paying for it here, obviously. So let's see if what happens here on the inbounds coming up here. Looks like a little press maybe being played here by Ramapo, but they do seem to call off, and it's going to be easily crossing the timeline. Rutgers Newark. Bunch gave up the ball over to Snow. Snow drives, double team drawn, but he still gets it over that double team, right over the hands of Elgin Brown. 17-8 now.
Rutgers Newark has had 2 runs of 9-0 and 8-0 runs to start this game.
Keith Benthal, is in the game, number 11 for Ramapo as well. Treadwell, he's been quiet here. 1 foul, no points in this game. Tries to leave for O'Connell. 15 on the shot clock. He'll drive, kick it out. The shot taken by Benthal, misses everything. 10 on the shot clock still. Ball's controlled by Theo, but he's in trouble. It's out of bounds. Remains Ramapo ball, but 6 seconds on the shot clock here. And we'll have some substitutions with Sanborn and LaRusso both coming back in, probably for O'Connell and for Benthal specifically. With 6 on the shot clock, you want LaRusso probably to post up and try to get ready for a shot.
And it's interesting, to start the game, we said how Ramapo doesn't substitute much. They've gone through at least 4 or 5 substitutions here to start the game, and Chuck McBreen is trying to find anything that works.
But all 8 points are still on the floor for Ramapo. And it is taken near the timeline. This is going to be Sanborn with 2 on the shot clock. Bank is open. 17-10 breaks the, I believe, 9-0 run by Newark. Down the other end, Rutgers Newark has the ball knocked out of bounds, but it will remain their ball with 26 on the shot clock. We're under 10 minutes left here in the first half.
And right now what Ramapo has to do is kind of calm themselves, control themselves, not try and do too much right there. Good job there by Sanford, taking the ball to the bucket.
Down or trying to hit the 3 was Muhammad. He'll miss again. He's 0 for 2 tonight from 3-point land. And down the other end, Russo had fed it eventually down to Treadwell. Underneath, the triple team can't get there in time, and Treadwell gets his first points of the night. It's 17-12 Newark.
Again, good job there by Ramapo, slowing things down, trying to set their offense to get things going.
Down the other end, we have a travel situation being called against number 45, David Azaro, and it's back to Ramapo on a 4-0 mini run right now. Let's see if they can keep their streak alive. But notice it's their starters back in doing this.
Definitely.
No press being shown here by Rutgers Newark, so LaRusso will have free reign to the timeline with about 3 seconds to go before it would have been a problem. Thiel with the ball on the right side. He'll hand it off to Sanborn. Sanborn wants to drive. He begins to. He puts it up off the side of the rim. Rebound eventually by Hussein Abdelmaksud back in the game. Down the other way. It's Bunch. Abdelmaksud playing out of position right now, so he'll get underneath while Snow tries to do something with the ball. Abdelmaksud from the left side. Maybe partially blocked there, and it's controlled by Ramapo. There'll be a pass down to... they're going to call a charge against Stefan Treadwell. Let's see if we agree with that one on this one as we take a look at that replay coming down. And you'll see the pass down to Treadwell. Tough to tell the legs are set there.
It looked like Treadwell was going down before. I mean, not Treadwell, I'm sorry.
His defender was going down.
Going down before he even got to him. But, again, it's the ref's call.
8:51 remaining here first half. 5-point lead for the Scarlet Raiders of Rutgers Newark. Mini press going on here. Sanborn, though, kind of releasing his man. He's got 3 seconds to get across and does so. That's John Snow. Snow hands it off over and now back outside to Muhammad. Muhammad with 20 on the shot clock. Drawing a double team outside. Looks like a 2-3 zone being played right now by Ramapo. Missed shot controlled by Belfield, or check that, by Brown. And on the other end, basket made by number 2, Will Sanborn. He has 6 points, matching the team's lead right now with 6.
And that's 8 fast break points this half for Ramapo.
Down the other end, another turnover for Rutgers Newark. It's controlled by Elvani Poole, who's in the game for Ramapo. And a foul called against number 24, it looks like, Raheem Bunch. His first, team's 5th. Still no bonus with 8 minutes left here.
And as you look at it now for Rutgers Newark, it seems interesting how this game is going as the score now 17-14 in favor of Rutgers Newark. Both teams go on mini runs where both teams kind of find their spurs and then lose it and then find it again and keeps going back and forth.
Well, it is a 6-0 run by Ramapo right now. LaRusso wants to extend that. Sanborn almost sees it stolen away, but he'll put up a 3 and hit the 3. He ties it up. It's a 9-0 run, responding to Rutgers Newark's 9-0 run.
Sanborn's a very streaky player, but right now he's on one of those hot streaks, hitting 5 points in a row.
Muhammad sees it stolen away. That's Poole, and he'll wait for his team smartly. It was a 1-on-2 if he pursued. Instead, they'll control the ball. Sanborn driving. He picked up his dribble, but he sends it underneath. It's in. Elgin Brown. Timeout being called by Rutgers Newark. They are down on an 11-0 run right now.
Good job there by Sanborn. I thought he was going to take a wild shot there as there were 2 guys guarding him, but he found Brown under the basket for the easy layup.
See that last play. Nice job. Nice feed in. You can see the Ramapo players getting another shot, excited. Can't fault them one bit there. And we're going to go back to the crowd shot here. Actually, one thing I do want to show folks is our scoreboard shot to show the foul situation especially. And you can see 5 team fouls against Newark, 4 against Ramapo. Nobody with more than 1 that's on the floor currently for either team. And you can see actually it is visible enough to see the points for our Ramapo players. 9 points for Sanborn, 8 points for Elgin Brown. I can tell you that on the floor right now, number 5, John Snow with 4 points leads all floor players right now for Rutgers Newark. Back to our original shot here so you can see some people who decided to lose their shirt at some point tonight in the crowd.
I think they came in that way.
I hope not for their sake. It is not warm outside, and be careful this weekend, folks, on this coast. There is a storm coming through, and you don't want to be a part of that. You can see they're giving away T-shirts right now, throwing them into the crowd, people jumping up and down and grabbing those. But let's get back to basketball here because Ramapo has an 11-0 run they're on right now after Newark's 9-0 run. Basically, we've had only one little stretch where teams traded baskets. Now we're trading runs the entire game, it feels like.
Again, to start the game, both teams could not find their offense, and after about, the 17-minute mark, both teams start to go on their own mini runs there, and Ramapo's on their own at the moment.
Again, Ramapo wins, they're in, and Rutgers Newark has to sweat out Selection Monday to a certain degree. If Rutgers Newark wins, Ramapo most likely in as a Pool C bid. Both teams will likely go into the playoffs next week into the NCAA bracket. There's a whistle inside, a foul being called. It looks like against number 21, Elvani Poole. He's listed as a center for his team at 6'5". That's a short center when you think about it in Division III basketball even. But nonetheless, Elvani Poole nailed with a foul. His team's 5th, so still neither team in the bonus with 7:15 left here first half. In the meantime, Garcia sends it over to Belfield. Now back out to Lakwebu. He's in trouble though by the timeline. They're going to call a foul against Elgin Brown. I'm not so sure about that one, Reggie.
I'm not sure either. It looks to me that
and it's tough to see from our shot there if it was or wasn't. But it's team foul number 6, so it's a non-shooting foul as we go back to live action here with 7:05 left in the first half. 19-17 Ramapo lead, 11-0 run is still intact here for Ramapo. Snow being pushed again toward the timeline. And the ball is knocked away by LaRusso. He's on the ground, still on the floor. It's Ramapo ball. 6:51 left, and a fresh 35 now for Ramapo.
Great job there by Anthony LaRusso for Ramapo, getting on the floor there to kind of deflect that pass away.
And the aforementioned LaRusso is going to cross the timeline with the ball, it looks like. And he does so by passing it to Thiel. Thiel is going to put it up a long two. In and out. Rebound. Almost got his own rebound there, but he pushed it instead into Bellfield's hands. Coming down the other end, it's Ikwebu. 6.5 minutes left, first half. Belfield kind of out of position right now, looking for a little help up top. Now it's going to be a shot by Garcia. Misses everything. And a block. A big block by Poole. Ball. Another shot was taken, but it missed everything. And we have a whistle. It looks like was a foot on the baseline. And you can hear coach for Rutgers Newark, Joe Loughran, getting a little upset on our crowd microphone in front of us, saying game should have continued, in his opinion. They're going to say it was a foot on the baseline, but it was Ramapo touching it to achieve this situation. Referee explained it to coach, and we're going to get back to action. They're going to wipe up the floor a little bit, obviously, here.
I think what he explained to the coach was that his play was on the ground, so they had to stop time for that. That's why they didn't continue the action.
Unusual when you're already in the act on that side of the floor that they will blow the whistle for that. In the meantime, it's Garcia from the right side of the baseline putting it in and breaking the 11-0 run. We have a tie. It's 19 apiece. Down the other end, ball is going to be out of bounds. Back to Rutgers Newark.
That's the third time there. Ramapo has tried to outlet really quickly, and they've thrown it out of bounds now.
So 6:08 remaining, first half, 19 apiece. So far, the pacing, I would say, is in Rutgers Newark's favor in terms of the scoreboard. You know, we were talking earlier, Ramapo would like to score the high 70s per game. I think Rutgers Newark would do better not getting it that high in the air in terms of score. That's what they did against Richard Stockton the other night, a low-scoring win. There's a foul being called against Ramapo. This is the 7th team foul, but it's a shooting foul no matter what, and it's against number 20 for Ramapo, John Martins.
That's a good job there by the shooter, number 45, David Azoro. Seeing that the shooter, the defender had his hands up, tried to kind of create contact there to get the bucket up.
Azoro, as I said earlier, 70% free throw shooter. He, I believe, is 1 for 1 tonight, and now make it 2 for 2. And Rutgers Newark has the lead back now at 20-19. Lead changes galore in this game. The lead has changed now, I believe it is 4 times in this game officially, with 3 ties. Second is good. He's 3 for 3 from the free throw stripe. LaRusso and Ramapo look to respond here, down by 2. He'll hand it off to Sanborn. Sanborn from 3. He hits it. Looked like he got a little bit of the backboard there on its way in, and he still made it. Ramapo makes it 5 lead changes in this game now.
Wow. He took that shot from, I think, the Jersey Shore. I mean,
way downtown. In the meantime, inside, Azaro has that one roll in. 6 lead changes now between these teams. It's like a heavyweight bout starting to form here. Sanborn tries to find Poole. Poole loses control. Out of bounds. It is off Rutgers Newark, they say. Coach Loughran does not agree, and he's walking away from the referee as he hollers he didn't touch it.
It looks like Doza Kwegu did not touch that ball as it went. It looked like he tried to, but it just went under his fingertips there. And Coach Loughran might have an argument.
Out of our camera angle as I'm trying to see our own replay, so we will stick with live action. Thiel out to LaRusso. LaRusso wants to drive, it looks like. He almost faked the 3 there. Puts up a shot, and he's fouled. 6th-team foul against Rutgers Newark. And in terms of people you don't want to necessarily foul on this team, I'm going to take a guess without even looking. LaRusso is a good free throw shooter. And at 81.5%, he is the best regular free throw shooter that they have on this team. 81.5%. He'll get 2 here. Trying to give another lead change here. That would be 7 if he's able to convert both, and he gets the first to tie it at 23.
All right there. Good job there by LaRusso. Had nowhere to go, really, and he tried to force up a shot there, and Agweku gave him a perfect opportunity by fouling him. if he would have just kept his hands straight up and wouldn't have fouled him, it would have been a turnover by Ramapo.
Second free throw is up. No good. We have another tie, and it's taken by Kwebu. 23 apiece. 4:53 left here. First half. It's the NJAC Men's Basketball Championship. And they're going to call a foul inside against Ramapo. Their 8th team foul. It's a 1-on-1 situation coming up here. And they're going to call against Elvani Poole. His second foul here. Backup roll from the bench. He's got 2 fouls. And shooting of free throws is Hussein Abdelmaksud.
And it seems like Poole is having issues.
Abdelmaksud misses the free throw on the front of the 1-on-1. Tries to get it back up on his own rebound. And there will be a foul going the other way now against Rutgers Newark. Sorry to interrupt you there, Reggie.
No problem. Looks like Poole again is having issues with Abdelmaksud's height and length in the paint in the post there. And they might have to change something there.
See what happens. But Abdelmaksud, not exactly the most proficient free throw shooter. He's in the 60s in his percentage this season. Down the other end now, though, it's going to be Lauren Jackson for Ramapo shooting these free throws. Try to get you his stats here. Still looking for the 7th lead change of the game. And he will make that happen. He's a 70% free throw shooter. Team's pretty good overall, is Ramapo this season, and that's how you win your games down the stretch. You're 70.1%, which today's day and age is not that bad as a team. So it's 24-23, 7 lead changes in this game. I believe now 5 ties, I want to say, in it. Second free throw is up. No good off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Snow. Rutgers Newark looking to take the lead back. Snow setting up a play. He'll give it to Muhammad. 4.5 minutes left here in the first half. Muhammad back by the timeline. Sends it over to Abdelmaksud, who's out of position again by the timeline, so he's got to get underneath to be effective. In the meantime, Azaro, did he walk there? Yes, he did. Azaro called for the travel, and Ramapo takes the ball over, up by 1.
Right there for Azaro. He had really no way to go with the basketball then. He was trying to force something that he didn't have, and unfortunately for him, committed a turnover.
But what's not helping, Abdelmaksud could help clear that lane with his size, or at least be underneath his tall presence. He's playing outside way too much, it looks like, on offense. He's got to get underneath for his team. In the meantime, the floater. It's a charge being called against Elvani Poole again, I believe, and that's his 3rd foul already here. If it is against him, and it is. 9 team fouls, but it's a player control foul. Therefore, it's a non-shooting situation, but Elvani Poole may have to sit now. Well, no, they're keeping him on the floor. Bench player or not, he's your center at 6'5", and they're going to stay with him here.
And Poole right there, he could have stopped short right there and tried to take an open jump shot. Instead, he tried to force something that he did not have, and that's an issue right now.
Kwebu over to Muhammad. Back over to Kwebu. We're still guarding him with 3:53 remaining here. And Abdelmaksud, that's what you can do if you're a big man underneath. Just put it right up and in. And that will be lead change number 8 in this game as Newark has the lead again. In the other end here, ball knocked away, but recontrolled by Thiel. Thiel waits for the 3 black jerseys near him to kind of go back underneath. And this man-to-man defense, Sanborn dribbling, loses his man, puts up the 3, misses it off the front of the rim. It's out of bounds. Rutgers Newark ball. They lead by 1. 3:24 left here first half.
And the Rutgers Newark bench is incensed right now as they thought there was an illegal pick there on Poole there as he took down number 23 for their team.
Well, they're hoping for the 4th foul.
Muhammad, yeah.
But Poole is now back on the bench. They did sit him after that whistle. Back out for Ramapo is John Martins. Kwebu against LaRusso. A nice feed in to Muhammad. He'll take an out-of-control shot again and hit it. 3-point lead, Newark. LaRusso sends it over to Sanborn. Thought about the 3, now backs back out into the paint. They're going to call a charge. I disagree with that one there, Reggie. Player did not set inside the paint.
Again, player did not set. That is true, but what the officials, I think, were looking at is Sanborn was a bit wild with his drive there, and any contact, I think, at any point when the player went down, I think they were going to call the offensive charge.
That was earlier. This is live right now. Didn't really have a good sight on that play. Work on that at halftime. Get just better views. Away from the bench a little bit. In the meantime, Abdelmaksud underneath and in. That's what I'm talking about. You stay underneath. You're going to be effective with your size. Timeout, Ramapo. 5-point lead on a 6-0 run by Newark.
Again, another mini spurt by both these teams. Newark is on another one right now, and a good pass right there by Aldin Muhammad getting inside. And as you said earlier, if Abdel Mahaksud can get into the post and be efficient there, because he is giving he's giving Ramapo size problems, he can score and put up points.
Aldin Muhammad, Hussein Abdul Maksud. This is the all-name team for us here in D3Hoops.com, I think, tonight. They're having a little fun with this. Doze Ikwebu. That's another classic name right there. Let's see the crowd pretty well filled in here. Not quite standing remotely, but it's you have trouble finding seats for two if you're coming in late, that's for sure. And we'll go back out to our stats that just came in here. We have Terry Small, NJAC Commissioner, join us at halftime. We'll take a little break here, get our voices back, then talk to him about what it all means, what the committee's looking at right now to the degree he can tell us, and what the whole New Jersey rule does mean to the NCAA right now, how it's playing out as they're talking as committees each week, putting out regional rankings and discussing as RACs and the full committees do right now. So stay tuned at halftime. NJAC Commissioner Terry Small joining us. Looking at the stats right now, leading scorer for either team, it looks like Will Sanborn with 12 of his team's 24 points for Ramapo. But look at that spread out scoring for Rutgers Newark. Nobody with more than 7 points, and 7 players with points overall.
It's interesting right there. That's one of the things that Rutgers Newark does so well, is that they don't have one guy they can go to. They kind of spread it out.
Russo passes, and it is out of bounds. Rutgers Newark ball on the 6-0 run and looking to extend. Here we go again. 2:37 left, first half. NJAC Men's Basketball Championship underway here in Mahwah, New Jersey, the Bradley Center. Frank Rossi, Reggie Bazile with you here. Enjoying the action in the crowd here. Snow has that ball blocked away by Martins, and going down the other end will be Lorusso. But it's a 2-on-4, so he smartly waits for his team. Back out now to Thiel. Thought about giving it to Sanborn, but he'll hold on to it. 25 on the shot clock. Sanborn wants to drive. Stops, sees a streaking player underneath. It's a foul against John Snow. Team's 8th. It'll be a 1-and-1 coming up for Thiel.
Good job there by Thiel. He saved Sanborn there, as Sanborn was caught in the air, had no idea where to go with the basketball, and Thiel kind of opened up there under the basket, and he passed it to him.
Thiel is 73.7% free throw shooter for Ramapo, but it's a 1-and-1 situation. Down by 5, wants to make it 4-3 here, obviously. Very high arcing shot, makes it 29-25. Make that 29-24, I believe. Did they put 2 points on the board? This is like deja vu to the last game you and I did, Reggie. You realize. I'll have to check that. Actually, I don't need to. It's right here, 29-24 it is. That is correct. And will remain that way. 29-25 in favor of Rutgers Newark. Down the other end, it's Muhammad. Muhammad sends it inside. Abdul Maksud misses. Down, and Thiel has it. Crosses the timeline, thinks about driving, just hands it off instead of Martins. Back to Thiel to the left side of the baseline. Another charge being called.
And now, that I don't get why Thiel would drive baseline and try and create contact there. The officials for the first half have been calling that a charge every single time down the court. Why not stop and pop for a baseline jumper? Makes it so much easier for you.
Tough call there. That one was better in terms of charge category than the last one we had seen, where the player was going down before the contact even was established from where we were sitting. Abdul Maksud sends it out to Snow. Down back to Abdul Maksud. He is fouled. No, they're going to call the offensive foul going the other way now. Wow. Let's see it on replay. This one we should have for you. And you can see that one, tough one. We'll go one more time, see if we can't catch it. Player's upper body was moving, his feet were set. It really depends on how you want to translate the rule on that call.
It also looked like his feet were in that semicircle they have under the basket.
Yeah, maybe a good call there too. In the meantime, Thiel off the glass and in. It's 29-27. It's a 2-point game again. 8 lead changes in this game. We're approaching a 9th one here again after a mini run by Rutgers Newark. Muhammad facing off against Thiel. 21 on the shot clock. Foul called against Ramapo. This will be a double bonus situation for Rutgers Newark.
And right now, Ramapo, not having a great size advantage, I put John Martins on Abdul Mahaksud, and right there it shows another problem they have. When they go into the post to him, he's going to dominate whoever Ramapo throws at him.
Abdul Mahaksud will be going to the line for 2. He's, again, 64% free throw shooter. Missed the front of a 1-1 earlier, though, and misses the back side of the rim, or misses on the back side of the rim this time. Abdul Mahaksud has been the leading scorer about 3 times this season for his team. 20 points was the leading lead he had against Ramapo 4 games ago. He misses both. Ramapo, a chance to tie or take the lead with 1:04 left here in the first half. LaRusso wants it, and then has to throw it over to his teammate Thiel out to Sanborn for 3. It's missed off the back of the rim. Controlled by Azaro. Down the other way, Snow. Boy, it looked like it hit the referee, but it stays Rutgers Newark ball. Travel called. He tried to call for a timeout, but he didn't get it in time. Ramapo ball.
And right there, it looked like he did actually call timeout before he traveled, and he didn't get the call.
Referee by the half-court line in front of us had seen it otherwise. That's who made the call. 30 on the shot clock, 39 on the game clock. Thiel can't finish the job underneath. Abdul Mahaksud with the rebound. And the shot clock and the game clock are very much in sync right now. About a 0.6-second differential in the game clock. So both remain on, but it is actually a 0.9-second differential. 20 seconds. So you can basically see what the shot clock is by watching the game clock. But a foul called. Why does Thiel foul at the half-court line? Now giving him 2 free throws.
Right there, it's a mental mistake right there by Thiel. Pretty much, Newark is trying to play for the last shot right there, and he fouled him, giving him a chance for 2 easy buckets.
Shot clock now off for both teams, but first we're going to see 2 free throws. Muhammad will be. He is an 84% free throw shooter, and he'll make the first. This is not the person on that floor you wanted to foul. A team that shoots 67% as a team, and he's an 84% free throw shooter. It's back to 3 points. Muhammad, 3-time captain for a team, looks like with 3 stars next to his name. Senior guard, 6'2". Second one, misses. Chance to tie before halftime. 13 seconds. Shot clock is off. Thiel needs to start moving here. He's not even approaching the timeline quickly. 8 seconds. Thiel begins to drive, comes back up, begins to drive again through the paint, tries to give it up. It's out of bounds. Rutgers Newark ball. Thiel did not handle the ball well there in any capacity. What is going on there?
I'm shocked Will Sanborn didn't touch the ball. Best player on your team not taking the last shot of the half.
Abdul Mahaksud will inbound the ball with that height. Here's the shot. It's got a chance almost. Wow. You could see it from where we were sitting. It was on line. Nonetheless, Rutgers Newark, 3-point lead. We're going to replay that shot for you real quick because one of our cameras did go dead upstairs, as you can see. And there is the shot, but didn't quite get the camera on it, unfortunately.
And the Rutgers Newark team thinks they had a foul there as Alden Muhammad threw up that shot, but they feel that Thiel bumped him on his way up with the shot, but nothing was called again.
Interesting. Nonetheless, we are going to be taking our own little timeout here, and we will come back in a little bit. But Reggie, overall, before we do transition here, what are your insights on the first half of what to tell your teams at halftime?
Well, again, it was a matter of runs for both teams. Both of them went on dramatic runs, whether it was a 9-0 run or an 8-0 run here or a 6-0 run here. For Rutgers Newark, they got the pace of the game the way they wanted to go, kind of slow it down, play it slow. There were times when Ramapo was able to get out and run, But for Ramapo, you want to come out in the second half and probably run a little bit more, get the buckets going. For Rutgers Newark, you want this game to continue to go at the pace that it's going right now because it's in your favor.
Yeah, absolutely right. So we're going to take a break here. 14 minutes at halftime. We'll come back in a couple minutes with Terry Small, NJAC Commissioner. Join us to talk about his seat on the committee and the NJAC in general here. It's 30-27, Rutgers Newark in the lead in the NJAC Men's Basketball Championship. We'll be back here on D3Hoops.com on Ustream. Hey, folks, we're back here. It is 30-27 at halftime in favor of Rutgers Newark. I am Frank Rossi, in case you can't read it on the screen. And Terry Small joining us. He is the New Jersey Athletic Conference Commissioner, also a committee member for the NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship Committee. What you want to talk about first, my friend? NJAC basketball, NJAC in general, or the committee? I'm going to give you the choice.
I'm sworn to secrecy on the committee stuff. You know, I'll share what I can, but it's the greatest time of the year, isn't it, Frank? Every time I see your face, it means it's that time of year, which I know the Christmas song is "It's the most wonderful time of the year." Well, guess what? This is the most wonderful time of the year.
Terry, you get scared when you see me, though, during the tournament because NJAC teams are 0-3 with me in the building calling a first-round game. And Ramapo was one of those victims 2 years ago against Johnson Wales in the first round, I believe, in overtime in that game. That was a great game and electric atmosphere here, just like tonight. Let's talk about NJAC basketball and the fandom around it right now. I know on the women's side. So I try to get a scoreboard up here for you, folks. We'll try to get some scores as we go along here. Snow with 15 on the shot clock. Sends it into Muhammad. Muhammad around to Azaro. Azaro trying to drive. They're going to call the foul against Ramapo. And they're calling against number 24, Garrett Thiel, his third. Well, while the foul trouble for the team may not be in existence, there are two players on the floor for Ramapo now with 3 fouls. Thiel and Elgin Brown. Azaro with 2 free throws coming up here. First one is a miss. 3-point lead for Ramapo, still intact. Second one coming up here. And it's good. 2-point game. Ramapo with the ball and the lead. Down the other end, it is Thiel with 3 fouls now. Being guarded by Ikwebu. He'll hand it off to Sanborn. Inside now to Treadwell. Wants to put it up. He gets it up but misses the shot. Foul called. Treadwell only with 4 points tonight. I'm surprised by that. Here's his chance to make it 5 or 6 points. Foul is the third against Mormon for Rutgers Newark. 6th for the team.
Well, again, it's for Treadwell. There were a couple of times early in the game where he just couldn't find his offensive rhythm, putting up bad shots and not really controlling the basketball. But so far,
first one is good.
So far right now, Ramapo seems to want to be going to him a little bit more now in the second half, trying to get a couple passes inside to him.
Just waiting for that second free throw. See if it can become a 2-possession game again here in favor of Ramapo. It's up. No good. We're staying at 1 possession here, folks. Plattsburgh State beat Geneseo State tonight, so we know one team that'll be in that SUNYAC final tomorrow night, or afternoon at 4 o'clock, I believe is tip-off. Check your listings on that. In the meantime, driving was Muhammad, missing it off the back of the rim. Thiel with the rebound, taking some chances with those 3 fouls. Pass all the way up, and they're going to call a travel against Elgin Brown. He was too alone in that situation and didn't know what to do with it. Speaking of 3 fouls, though, Alvani Poole, the center, is going to come back into the game for Ramapo in that 3-point lead.
Right there for Elgin Brown right there. He's saying that those Igwebu was kind of undercut him in a way, so that's why he had to kind of travel there, but officials are not buying it.
Down the other end, Igwebu sends it over. That is Belfield. Haven't heard much from him tonight. Back out to Muhammad. Wants to drive, 18 on the shot clock, kind of pushing Thiel off him. Here's a long 2 taken and made by Azaro. Nice stroke by Azaro on his shot, I'll tell you. It's a 1-point game.
Azaro has been a bright spot for the Scarlet Raiders this evening.
Down the other end, it's Thiel. 11 minutes left in this game, at least in regulation. Treadwell blocked by Azaro. Ball loose, coming down the other end. Could this be the 10th lead change of the game? Snow is fouled. He'll get 2 free throws. And now let's see who it's against officially. It's called against number 3. In this case, it's going to be LaRusso, his first, team's third. The 2 free throws for John Snow coming up here. And Snow on the season is a 65% free throw shooter. The first one is a miss, but he can still tie the game here. A little nervous, Reggie?
It's interesting as you look at it now. Both teams have been going 1-1 as they shoot their free throws, not being able to capitalize on the fact that they're free throws that you can add to this lead.
Tie game. Here we go again. I believe it's the 6th tie of the game. LaRusso hands it off to Sanborn. Leading scorer for both teams tonight. Sanborn will chase it down. 26 on the shot clock. Sanborn Fake the pass, now makes it over to LaRusso, driving the lane, but a triple team formed. He's fouled, bailed out basically because he didn't have much control as he was driving. They're going to say it's against number 5, John Snow, his second team's 7th. It is a 1-and-1 situation with 10:43 remaining in the second half. It's a bonus.
Right now for Ramapo, they shoot 70% from the free throw line for the season, but in the first half, they shot only 55%, so you're wondering where's that going to come to play.
And LaRusso makes the front end of the 1-1. It's back to Ramapo's 1-point lead. 9 points for him, looking to go into double figures on this free throw. Boy, frenetic pace at times in this game. Surprised we're not in the 60s, to be honest with you. Some early poor shooting pretty much did that in, but still, it's 50-48. We've seen a team now hit the big 5-0 with 10:40 left here, second half. 50-48 in favor of Ramapo. Rutgers Newark looking to punch their ticket. So is Ramapo. But Ramapo probably has a punch no matter what in this game. That shot missed. I thought it was partially blocked, but saved by Azaro. He's actually in the stands. He hurt his leg in doing so. In the meantime, it is out of bounds. Player didn't have control when the timeout was attempted in front of us, so the referee smartly called it out of bounds to Ramapo. Let's look at Azaro. He did get up slowly there, but he is up and walking fine now. You could hear him crash into the metal stairway as he tried to save that ball.
Azaro has been all over the place for them, either scoring on defense and right there. You saw the hustle there.
50-48. And here is Thiel. Wants a drive. Boy, a lot of hand there, but no call. Right in front of the referee, but no call on them. Not just a hand check, it was a hold. Wow. Maybe letting him play suddenly here. LaRusso with the ball. 10 minutes left here in the second half. 2-point lead Ramapo. 10 seconds on the shot clock. LaRusso puts it up and in. 12 points for him tonight. It's a 4-point lead. Down the other end, Ikwebu. Send Muhammad now feeding it underneath. And that's a bad miss there by Belfield. Tracked down by Ramapo. Thiel will go with it. It's a 1-on-3 off his own foot, though. And it really wasn't necessary to drive there. It's a 1-on-3. Wait for your team, Thiel. Some very poor choices tonight by him.
Thiel has, again, there are a couple of passes he made in the first half where he threw it over players' head in transition. And with that player right there also, there have been some costly turnovers by Thiel this evening.
Wow. So it's still a 4-point game in favor of Ramapo. One of their largest leads of the game, essentially. Let's see, Ramapo, I think 2 was their largest lead coming into the half. So 4, I think, remains, actually 6 on those 2 3-pointers by Sanborn. That's the largest lead they've had tonight. 9 has been the largest lead by Rutgers Newark. Feed inside, but Belfield somehow controls it with hands all over it. Back out now, and Garcia misses badly. Rebounded by the center. Going down the other end, it is going to be Thiel to Sanborn for 3. Off the back of the rim, but Treadwell tracks it down, sends out to LaRusso, who wants to reset with a fresh 35. We're under 9 minutes left here on the game clock.
It's one of the rare offensive rebounds for Ramapo in this game.
Treadwell being double-teamed, but near the baseline, pass it back out. LaRusso wants the 3, misses it off the side and back of the rim, but they keep it alive again with a fresh 35, and the crowd is cheering it loudly here with 8:35 on the game clock, 30 on the shot clock.
Yo, let's go.
LaRusso wants to drive, but he forgot it almost. Garcia's got his hands on it. He tries to call timeout, but it's a jump ball. Nobody had possession officially. Jump ball stays Ramapo ball.
Right there, that right there turned into a horrible possession for Ramapo as they got 2 offensive rebounds. Their 6th offensive rebounds of the game, and LaRusso almost gave it away there. Fortunately, the jump ball was in their possession.
Well, look, the scoreboard shows 17 fouls against Rutgers Newark. Drive. Try to draw a foul. Don't go out of control. Try to drive if you're Ramapo. That's my advice here. And on the other end, if you're Rutgers Newark, be vigilant. Sanborn for 3 off the side of the rim, and it's Abdul Maksud with the rebound. Timeouts, 30-second timeout being called by Rutgers Newark. 8:17 remaining on the game clock, 30 on the shot clock. It's a 4-point lead, as you can see, in favor of Ramapo.
And right now for Ramapo, they're trying to kind of get this game going in a direction. They've been able to speed it up a little bit quicker than what they had in the first half here. And there were a couple of questionable calls by Ramapo, not calls, but plays. Decision making, especially one there by Thiel as he tried to drive the lane when it was 1-on-3, and he turned it off his foot, and also there by LaRussa as he almost gave the ball away, but it was a jump ball. A couple of those turnovers could come back to hurt them later on in the game if they're not careful.
We'll see what happens here. But again, they're not really pursuing the paint in a way that if I'm Ramapo's coach, want to see probably right now. You want that faster pace. You want the scoring to go up here. You can't rest on your laurels in a 4-point lead. Rutgers Newark, on the other hand, really, all things considered, after that storm by Sanborn earlier, in pretty good shape.
They are definitely. And Sanborn took, again, talking about decision-making, took a couple of bad three-point shots there last time down the court.
Christian Garcia will inbound it right in front of us with 30 on the shot clock and 8:17 on the game clock, down by 4. Send it into Muhammad. And Abdel Maksud, again, in that out-of-position zone. He's got to get underneath, but Muhammad will try a three. Gets it off the front of the rim, but, Abdel Maksud was not there underneath for the rebound, so Ramapo comes away with it. Thiel wants to spot him or maybe drive. Now he's going to just send it back around. Controlled by Brown. Underneath, though, Treadwell has it. He misses. Having a bad night tonight, I'll tell you, with only 5 points. And a foul being called, I believe, against Rutgers Newark, yes. Actually, no, Treadwell's the one that was slapped with it for Ramapo. They weren't going the other direction, so it looked like it was going to stay Ramapo ball. But no, instead, it's Rutgers Newark ball.
Definitely, it is adding to a bad night for him. That was a point-blank layup right there. He just completely missed the bucket.
Now he has 3 fouls, as does number 24, Garrett Thiel, and number 15, Elgin Brown, for Ramapo. Here's a 14-footer missed by Rutgers Newark. We're being blocked out here, but I believe Garcia put the ball back in for his 8th point of the night. And we have a whistle. A delay game warning being called against Rutgers Newark because they hit the ball after it went through the cylinder. But we're back to action now in a 2-point game, 7:26 remaining here. Ramapo leading by 2, but with 3 players with 3 fouls, as does Rutgers Newark has the same issue, but they have a deeper bench, don't forget. Going down the other end, Muhammad with the steal, the easy put in, it's tied again. 7 ties, 9 lead changes in this game.
Right now, the past 4 or 5 possessions by Ramapo, they have not the decision-making, the turnovers, it just hasn't looked good on their end.
So it's going to be LaRusso. Handing it over to Brown. Back out to Sanborn. Mormon kind of lays off him, so now it's LaRusso driving the left side of the line. But he tries to pass it into a triple team in. It's Rutgers Newark that has it temporarily until Thiel grabs it at the timeline. Thiel driving, almost losing a possession again, but instead back out to Sanborn to reset. 28 on the shot clock. He'll try to put it up, can't get it to fall. Gets his own rebound, back up with it. He misses again. This time it's going to be Stephon Treadwell getting his 7th point of the night and giving his team a 2-point lead.
Right there. They're fortunate Treadwell was able to get the rebound there, because if they come away with no points after grabbing 2 offensive rebounds, that would be tough.
Snow over LaRusso. Counted in the foul. It's tied again.
What a shot there by Snow. Creating the contact in midair, having enough strength to still be able to put up the shot and getting it to go.
LaRusso's 2nd, team's 5th. The foul totals have even back up. It's 7-5 against Newark, but still it was 5-0 not that long ago in the foul board. For the lead, Snow up and in. It's the 10th lead change of the game. Rutgers Newark, after trailing by 6 in this half, now up by 1. 11 points for Snow. 6 minutes to go, Reggie. Here we go. It's crunch time here in this game. LaRusso driving, putting it up out of control and in, plus the foul. This is a heavyweight bout suddenly here. 56-55. LaRusso with 14, a chance for a free throw. The 3rd foul against John Snow now.
I take your left hook, you take my right hook, uppercut here, jab there. Again, you're right. It is a heavyweight fight right now, but there's so much on the line. That's why it's this way.
Ramapo, basically, you'll assure yourself a hosting spot, a quasi-hosting spot based on our conversation with Terry Small at halftime. Rutgers Newark, you're assuring yourself a ticket punch, period. You stand a 50-50 chance, perhaps, if you don't win tonight, of getting in still. And LaRusso makes it a 2-point game, 57-55, under 6 minutes to go. He has 15 points. 3 of the 5 starters have double figures up there, 18, 15, 10 for Sanborn, LaRusso, and Brown, respectively. Illegal pick underneath against Rutgers Newark. It is Ramapo ball. Mormon called for the foul, I believe. His 4th. Team's 9th, but no shots coming up. But now Ramapo is in a double bonus full time.
And right now, if Ramapo...
And the coach getting warned to stay inside the box as the referee came down for Rutgers Newark. Thiel with 20 on the shot clock. Finding Sanborn up top. 16 on the shot clock. Sanborn pops out to Thiel. Thinks about the 3. Still thinks about it. 10 on the shot clock. Driving. Back outside. Feeding it in. Back outside. 7 on the shot clock. Treadwell misses, but it's a fresh 35. A miss, though, by Brown. Point blank. And the ball's out of bounds. Whose call? They're going to call a foul on Treadwell. Wow. Let's watch the replay on this entire series of events here. Actually, no, they call it on number 41 for Rutgers Newark. They pointed initially at Treadwell, but what they were saying was he was fouled by Abdul Maksud, and it's his 4th foul. Double bonus time. First one made. It's a 3-point game. Treadwell on the line.
Now let's see if Treadwell can hit the second free throw, as it's been constant here this whole game. Either they make the first, miss the second, or miss
vice
the second.
Versa.
Yes.
Yeah. This would give him 9 points on the night, and he came into this half with only 4, so I think 5 points for the second half, and maybe finding a little bit better of a rhythm here with 3 fouls. He makes it. It's a 4-point game again. Rutgers Newark, not that long ago, had a 1-point lead. It's back to a 4-point Ramapo lead here for the NJAC Men's Basketball Championship. Frank Rossi, Reggie Bazile with you on D3Hoops.com, on Ustream.tv. In the meantime, a double team, but somehow they find Azrael. Mormon goes up with it. They're going to call a travel. Wow, Reggie.
I don't know about that. I didn't see the travel. Oh, there was no travel there.
He didn't have the ball on that first step. One more time, you'll see what I mean here. Yeah, well, we'll keep going back here. Here we go. Here comes the pass that leads to it. No.
That's a step.
We'll go back live. 4-point game, but boy, that's one step, not the additional step that I saw there. You know, you're allowed to pivot. It's called a pivot foot, and he did that on one as well. Boy. 4-point game. Ramapo leads. Thiel with the ball. 25 on the shot clock. Driving. Putting it up and in despite some pretty hard contact there by Garcia. No foul called, but it's a 6-point lead, matching the largest of the game for Ramapo. Timeout, Rutgers Newark.
And right now what Ramapo is trying to do, what they've been trying to do all game, is not only get their transition bucket going, but also try and get to the bucket more. Try and get into the lane more. Get easier shots, higher percentage shots right now. And the past 2 or 3 times down the floor before this possession, with Thiel hit that layup, LaRusso went to the bucket there to get the points, and then before that with the free throw shooting right there by Treadwell. So they're continuing trying to get to the bucket to hit easy percentage shots.
4:32 remaining in regulation. 6-point game in favor of Ramapo. Foul situation. Ramapo still not giving Rutgers Newark a bonus to the next foul. They have 1 to give. They're at 5. 10 fouls against Rutgers Newark. In fact, we'll give you the scoreboard view so you can see it for yourself. And there it is. Getting updated scoring totals here. John Snow, 12 points. David Azar off the bench with 10 points for Rutgers Newark, leading their team. And Sanborn, LaRusso, and Brown, 18, 15, and 10 points, as we had said earlier. But Treadwell on their heels now with 9 points. And Garrett Thiel, the other starter, with 7 points. Let's go back to action here in the live shots. And it's going to be Rutgers Newark ball. Muhammad will inbound it right in front of us. 29 on the shot clock. He'll inbound it to Snow. Snow with LaRusso on him. 23 in the shot clock. Passes it out. Muhammad shook his man, wants to drive, puts it up. No, blocked by Brown, and they both fall hard. In the meantime, it's saved. No whistle. Sanborn on the other end. As the players get up, they're fine. There's a foul called. They hit that chair hard over there, but they are both okay. And foul called against Rutgers Newark. Number 1, Mormon, with his 5th foul. He is done for the night. Actually, no, they...
I think the foul's called number 10 there, Doza Kwebu.
Maybe. In the middle of the board there, you see number 1 with 5, unless that was the previous foul still left up there. Yeah, they've taken off the board at least. In the meantime, Sanborn scores the free throw. It's the largest lead of the game for Ramapo. 7 points. Sanborn can hit the 20-point mark with this free throw. It's up. It's good. 63-55. 20 points for Will Sanborn.
This is the largest lead of the game for Ramapo to this point.
Rutgers Newark had led by 9 in the first half, so they had a larger lead at one point in this game. They've lost it. It's a 17-point swing in this game. A missed shot there. Rutgers Newark, who did a great job to cling and come back in this second half, now losing control of this game with 3:48 remaining. LaRusso to Thiel. They're in no real rush here, but double team formed. He stepped on the line. No call on the over and back. Thiel, though, with the ball back now in front of the timeline. 13 on the shot clock. 12. He's in trouble. Pivots, turns, drives. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Double team, draw it again. LaRusso with 5 on the shot clock. Kicks it out to Sanborn. Drives. 3 seconds. 2. He's blocked. No brim. The shot clock does expire. So no matter what happened on the out of bounds, it will go back to Rutgers Newark.
And right now, Sanborn is complaining to the officials that he felt he was fouled when he went to the bucket there, but officials are not listening.
Well, on the other side, though, Thiel crossed the timeline with his foot, and no over and back was called. So, you know, it evens out in the end in some cases here. 27 on the shot clock. Muhammad will send it over to Belfield. Belfield over to Ikwebu. Now Muhammad spots up, hesitated. It hits the 3. It's a 5-point game.
I think Muhammad was a little shocked. He was so open for that 3. He thought for a second.
10 points on the night for him. LaRusso being harassed, but he will get it across the timeline in time. Double team now, though. He'll kick it out to Sanborn. 25 on the shot clock. 2:50 on the game clock. Thiel has to jump for that pass. He'll face off against Garcia. 17 seconds on the shot clock. 15 now. It's a little pitch and catch between Thiel and LaRusso near the timeline. Now Thiel. He's picked up his dribble. Out of control shot. Doesn't hit anything. And Abdelmaksoud with the rebound. Down the other way. Muhammad, who hit the 3 in the last possession. Underneath. Nobody home. It will go back to Ramapo.
Bad job there by Muhammad as he had Ikwebu open in the corner, right corner there for a wide open shot, but he elected not to pass it to him and turned it over.
LaRusso facing off against Ikwebu. Foul called. This one could go against Garcia, though, also. Let's see who they do call it against. It is against Garcia. His 4th team is over the limit as it is. Well over 10 fouls now with 2:10 remaining. But this is not a team that you can just say, oh, they'll miss a free throw here and there. They're pretty good on that stripe. They're coming into tonight, I believe, 71% as a team.
And especially LaRusso going to the line here. Shooting close to 81%.
Over 80, yep, absolutely. So here we go. LaRusso, first one, good. 6-point game. Rutgers Newark had gotten it to 5, obviously, on that 3 by Muhammad. LaRusso now with 16 points. 2 players for Rutgers Newark with 4 fouls on the floor. That's Garcia and also 41 Hussein Abdelmaksoud. Their 6'6" player is in a little bit of foul trouble. Let's see how active he is here down the floor. In the meantime, Muhammad with the ball. He'll drive himself, put it up. Nice little scoop shot. It's a 5-point game again. 2 minutes now. 2 minutes left in the second half. Sanborn being harassed right in front of us. Foul called against number 23, I believe that is Aldon Muhammad. Yes, it is. And it is his second. 2 free throws coming up for Sanborn. 1:55 remaining here in regulation, Reggie. So, your Rutgers Newark coach, what do? How do you get back in this game now?
Well, I mean, the only way you can't really get back into this game is stop the clock and foul. But if you foul, you put them on the line and they shoot free throws. So it's kind of double-edged sword in that case. Right now, they're trying to kind of play their game of playing defense but not foul. But in some cases, their defense is that aggressive.
Yeah, that was the question I was going to ask you about. Would you play straight-up defense here for the next 2 possessions at least? Well, Sanborn misses one.
I think in Rutgers Newark standpoint, they're going to play their defense the way they've been playing it. They haven't really let up. I think they've been more aggressive here in the past 3 minutes when they went into the double bonus than before.
Second one missed. And boy, here we go. 5-point game. Abdelmaksoud's got to get underneath. Again, he's playing outside. In the meantime, Muhammad by the timeline. He'll send it up to Azaro. Azaro was looking, I think, for Abdelmaksoud, but he was right next to him. Now it's Muhammad. He wants to take a 3, and he hits it! What a shot! A 2-point game! He literally climbed on top of the player next to him to make that shot out of control and found its way in. LaRusso on the other end. He'll hand it to Brown. Brown a little out of control. Doesn't hit the rim. Rebound in doubt here. Still in doubt. Foul called. And it's against Rutgers Newark. Number 23, Muhammad's third foul. Team over the limit, as we said. So 2 free throws with 1:13 remaining.
Muhammad right there. To hit that 3-pointer with a hand in his face, pretty much coming off a curl. I was shocked he was going to take that shot. I didn't think he would.
73 seconds remaining here. Elgin Brown from the free throw stripe. He is 4 for 5 on the evening. Spins in number 1. Wow. 3-point game. 11 points for Brown tonight. Huge second free throw. It's up. It's good. It's a 4-point game. Timeout being called by Ramapo. 67-63. Well, you're not going to get him to miss both free throws every time, that's for sure, on this double bonus situation. So you live by the sword, you die by the sword sometimes. Yet on the possessions, on the trade possessions, they did go up by 1 point in that whole scenario because you know who hit the 3, Muhammad.
Well, that's the thing now. Rutgers Newark is trying to find a way to kind of play their defense and play their game, but they're in a double bonus. So they're trying to kind of find a way to play aggressive defense but not foul, but there's no other way for them to do that. They're just going to keep playing their defense and hope if Ramapo does go to the line, they're going to miss their free throws. Either miss both of them or miss one of them.
Well, nonetheless, exciting game. No teams led by more than 9. We've had a 9-point lead for Rutgers Newark in the first half, an 8-point lead for Ramapo in the second half. And not that long ago, in fact, but back down to 4 points after 2-point spread from that 3-pointer. Muhammad has been really their savior in this whole comeback attempt or effort, just like Sanborn gave Ramapo those 2 3-pointers that put them in kind of more of a driver's seat earlier on in the second half, or at least in a position to say we're starting to get our foothold in this game. Sanborn hits 2 threes. Muhammad hits 2 threes now much later on, about 10 minutes later in this game, but still just as important.
Yeah, Ramapo did what they wanted to do coming out of the second half. They picked up their tempo. They scored 27 points. They scored 27 points in the first half, and up to this point so far, they've scored 40 points in the second half. So they really picked it up.
Well, we said they like to be in the high 70s, low 80s usually, and that would be more the pacing for that tonight. Overall, obviously 67. They won't hit 80 unless we go to overtime. Here we go. Huge possession for Rutgers Newark. 30 on the shot clock. And coming around is Muhammad. Thought about the 3. Dribbles once, puts it up. No good. Abdelmaksoud, though, with the rebound, being harassed and fouled, but they are not over the limit. That was their 1 foul to give. Ramapo gives their 6th foul there. It will be an inbound situation with 58.6 seconds left. That said, Elgin Brown has his 4th foul.
Again, Ramapo did have a foul to give there, but Abdelmaksoud did not have anywhere to go with that. And if they were able to kind of frustrate him a little bit more, it could have been a turnover there.
Yeah, travel probably would have the first thing would have happened there. Ikwebu Outside the arc. He'll send it out to Muhammad. Driving inside the paint area. He had lost control of the ball. Lost control again. Ball knocked out of bounds. It stays. Rutgers Newark ball, but there's 49.5 seconds remaining here in regulation. Timeout, a full timeout by Rutgers Newark. 26 on the shot clock when we return, but here's what's got to happen. They've got to shoot pretty quickly if they want to be able to play defense on the next possession. If they shoot and make the 2 or 3, they can play defense and see what happens. If they do not or take too long, they will have to foul.
At this point, I think it depends how long they take. If you get to, let's say, the 15-second mark here on the shot clock, at that point, do you decide to switch it up? I think no matter what, you're going to have to foul. You're going to take your chances on the foul line and hope Ramapo starts missing, because I don't know if you can trade baskets going back and forth at this point.
Well said, but here's the thing again. You get it in, get it off pretty much, and I think that's what Coach Loughran is really telling his team right now. In the meantime, Chuck McBreen's probably saying play some good man-to-man defense probably on the inbound. Zone might not cut it right now for the next 26 seconds. You want to force them under 35 on the game clock so that essentially they force you to the free throw stripe where you can make a living if you really wanted to as Ramapo with that 71% free throw shooting. But let's say that their starters are probably more in the 74-75% range overall this season.
I have a question for you, Frank. Do you think Coach McBreen for Ramapo is telling his players no three-pointers at this point? Or do you think it's too early for that at this time?
Hey, that's a good question and a tough call, to be honest with you. I would say 3 wouldn't be a bad idea if you have an open look. The problem is they're choking them off on that stripe pretty well so far. So let's see what happens here. Inbound coming up. And it's going to be Muhammad driving. He's passing underneath. Nice open look for David Azaro underneath. It's a 2-point game. 45 seconds remaining. They can play defense here. Azaro, 12 points. Thiel to cross the timeline. Thiel being guarded by Garcia. 25 on the shot clock. There's a 10-second differential just about. 9 to 10 seconds. Thiel in no hurry. 2-point game. No 5-second count coming here. 13 seconds on the shot clock. 20 on the game clock now. Thiel begins to drive. Back out. Now he'll drive again. Garcia harassing him. He'll take an out-of-control shot. No, he can't get it up. 10 seconds. Going down the other end. They have a timeout. They want to use it. They do. Muhammad crosses the timeline, and Coach Loughran calls a timeout. 6.5 seconds remaining here in regulation. And Newark will have a chance. Rutgers Newark down by 2.
Now the big question becomes, if you're Rutgers Newark, do you play for overtime or do you play for the win? The old saying is you play for the win on the road and you play for the tie at home.
By the way, folks, now if you're watching Ustream and you see an ad right now, an ad roll being forced on you or requested, now's the time to play it. Play your ad right now on Ustream if you have to. You don't want to miss this because you don't want to miss any action. By all means, don't listen to us for the next 30 seconds. Play the ad, okay? And patronize our sponsors and Ustream sponsors at that. Nonetheless, 6.5 seconds remaining here in the second half. Fred Grossi, Retro Bazile bringing you the NJAC Men's Basketball Championship. Rutgers Newark wants to assure themselves a chance at the brackets next on Monday, or on placement in the brackets on Monday. They would have to win for the assured position here. On the other hand, Ramapo probably is in either way. Probably. Anything could happen, though. Terry Small obviously wouldn't tell us, nor will he have much input on it, being that he'll have to be off the call during discussions about NJAC teams, obviously. But again, thanks to Terry for joining us at halftime tonight, talking about the NJAC and his job as a committee member. As you can hear the crowd getting pretty upbeat here. 6.5 seconds. Here we go. Muhammad will be right in front of us to inbound the ball.
Usually you look for the inbounder here to get the ball back.
Don't forget, it's a 1-on-1 situation on a non-shooting foul. They are fouled here. Muhammad, 4 seconds. Muhammad, 2 seconds for the win! No! Ramapo wins! Ramapo is the NJAC Men's Basketball Champions! It went down to the wire as we expected, Reggie. 67-65 final. Muhammad had a look, that's for sure. We'll take a look at the replay here.
Right here, as you can see, Muhammad gets the ball back as the inbound and puts the shot up. It's a difficult shot, as Ramapo knew to double team him because he was going to get the ball back. They understood that, and they were ready for it.
Live shot, and obviously, that's pretty live. Lee, that is.
What an amazing game from start to finish here.
Glad we could bring it to you, folks. 67-65 final in favor of Ramapo. They trailed by 9 in the first half. There were times that they looked like they were just out of sorts. Steele was making bad decisions. Treadwell just couldn't get on track tonight. But honestly, the play of Sanborn is what saved them early in the second half. It could have been a much different second half if Sanborn didn't hit those 2 threes to take a 48-42 lead at that point in time. Ever since that point, it was Rutgers Newark struggling to really get a foothold in this game. They had a 1-point lead, lost that quickly, and you just saw their last chance in this game to really come and win it or tie it, but it would have been a 3-pointer if he had hit it there. He was behind the line. He missed.
Yeah, and then Coach Loftman for Rutgers Newark there, he realized, decided, you know what, I'm going to go for the win here, try and get this win. And Ramapo was ready for it. They knew Muhammad would be getting the ball back. He's been hitting the clutch shots for them down the stretch here for them, hitting a 3, hitting a couple of free throws, made a crucial pass in the paint for an easy layup there. So you knew he was going to get the ball no matter if he was going to be the one distributing it or taking the shot, and they knew he was going to take the shot, so they were ready.
Talk about players of the game for both teams here. I'll let you name them, and I'll kind of concur or maybe give some other names.
Well, of course, I mean, for Rutgers Newark, number 23, Aldin Muhammad, he definitely was the player of the game here for Rutgers Newark. Just really doing a good job. And an unsung hero who may not get as much praise for Rutgers Newark is number 45, David Azaro. Quietly, couple of blocks, 12 points, like 5 or 6 rebounds. He did a very good job for the team as well.
Yeah, and by the way, I believe because of his play toward the end there, Muhammad does lead his team with 15 points. Snow had 12 points. I think he did cross him. Yeah, he did. It was 15-12 basically for Muhammad and Snow, respectively. Will Sanborn, obviously, is my player of the game for Ramapo. He showed up when he needed to at key times in this game. Though he was 7 for 19, he was 4 for 10 from 3 points, and those 2 threes back-to-back really did change the nature of the game. Also, I would say you got to give a lot of credit to number 3, Anthony LaRusso, not just for scoring, but he did regain control of that game at times when his team looked to maybe make some bad decisions, but would get a rebound back, and he would settle his team back down at key times. So LaRusso did a great job on the defensive end and on the offensive end at times in this game. He did pull down some rebounds at various times. So we're going to stick around here real quick for the NJAC hardware to be handed out, and then we'll give you an update about what tomorrow night's schedule is, or tomorrow afternoon's schedule is for D3Hoops.com on Ustream.tv. We'll let you listen in. At this time, I announce that the Ramapo Warriors team captains, Anthony LaRusso, Derek Tito, and Stefan Trimble. Coach McQueen, please come in there, please. At this time, Commissioner Small will present a championship t-shirt to each member of the Rutgers team. Number 1, Romero Batista. Number 2, Will Sanborn. Number 3, AJ LaRusso.
Number 12, Ethan Catalanis. Number 15, Elgin Brown. Number 20, John Hortons. Number 21, Alfonso Poole. Number 22, Lou Pena. Number 23, Eric Gote. Number 24, Garrett Tino. Number 25, Shaquille McLaren. Number 31, Joshua Ortiz. Number 32, Jeff Pena. Number 33, Stefan Turnbull. Number 34, Mike Ewing. And number 35, Lauren Jackson. Assistant coaches, Mark Cameron. Frank Cordina. Christine Hansen. And Jensen Winnick. And Ernst Amos. And head coach Chuck McBrady.
You ain't a well-deserved cheer there. So Rutgers Newark, we got to wonder if scores play a role in how well they fought in this game. You got to think that they're going to get some really good looks from the committee, Reggie. They played a hard-fought game, for an entire 40 minutes. They just came up short in this game.
Definitely. I mean, they played one of the best games yet, but unfortunately for them, though, they didn't win this game, and I think that will be the deciding factor here. There's two games that they played here at the Bradley Center, and they've lost both of them here. So they did play really well here tonight, and they had a chance to win it, but they came away with the loss.
Remember, tomorrow I'm going to be taking my sweet self up to Cortland in the freezing rain that we'll be experiencing. Cortland right now is leading Oswego 44-33 with 11 minutes left in the second half. Should that score remain that way, it will be Cortland versus Plattsburgh for the SUNYAC championship in the men's side. That'll be at, I believe, 4 o'clock tomorrow. Check your listings on that. We will make sure we have that correct for you. And then also, Dave McHugh, you got to pay honor to his broadcast coming up tomorrow. And that will be Dave McHugh having coverage of both the landmark conference title games as the number 10 Catholic University women host Scranton at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and the number 11 Catholic men host Juniata at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can get links to those and the other 70 conference tournament games being played tomorrow on the D3Hoops.com scoreboard. That's D3Hoops.com. What'd you think of your first D3Hoops.com broadcast, Reggie Bazile?
It was it was everything I could ask for and more. A final shot, coming up to the final shot here. It definitely was interesting to see, and I'm happy I was aboard for this.
Well, thanks to Pat Coleman and Dave McHugh for helping line this up. Thank you to Rachel Pinton, the Sports Information Director here and Director of Communications for Sports at Ramapo. This is, a very tight-knit group here and a beautiful facility, the Bradley Center. It's a shame they will not be hosting it, their game here in the first round. However, that said, they may be hosting a game a couple miles down the road at NJAC, and if that does happen, at least their home crowd will only be a hop, skip, and a jump, a bus ride away or whatever. So we'll hope for them, if they do get to, quote, host, at least in the brackets, that they're given the opportunity to do so, despite the New Jersey rule we spoke of during halftime with Terry Small. Again, Rutgers Newark, it'll be close. Obviously, we'll see what happens I believe the upset last night, the SUNY Old Westbury game, does play some role here. But, you're going to see a little bit of discussion of this on d3hoops.com. Read the article that normally goes out at the end of the night for the men's side and see what the suggestions are. Pat Coleman, Dave McHugh, Gordon Mann, they have their finger on the pulse of this stuff. Sure, they're not on the committee, but they're pretty darn accurate every year. Final thoughts, sir?
Well, looking at this game again, it was a tough, competitive game throughout for both teams, and they tried to really, starting out, Rutgers Newark really did a good job of kind of forcing their will on Ramapo, playing a slow down game, really out rebounding them, getting buckets to the bucket and hitting shots. And Ramapo tried to find their way a little bit. They were struggling offensively at first, and then at one point, Will Sandburn decided, you know what, I'm the best player on this team. I'm going to take this team to the promised land, and he definitely did that, scoring over, again, 20 points here in this game. So it was a great job by him and a great win for Ramapo.
I'm going to begin to get myself ready for that trip to southern New York, southern central New York, however. I guess technically we're just a skip away from what would be southern New York, but southeastern in the city. So we'll get back there for a few minutes, clean things up, and then we will be on our way, or at least I will be, to Cortland tomorrow for the SUNYAC Championship on the men's side. So, again, thanks to everybody here at Ramapo. Thanks to Pat Coleman and Dave McHugh, and thanks to you for watching us here from Mahwah, New Jersey. Frank Rossi saying good night. Thanks, folks.